This video is brought to you by videogcse.com. Question 7. 2x squared equals 72. Find the value of x. Okay, x is a letter that is standing for some number. We don't know what that number is. However, we do know that if you square that number, if you times it by itself, and then you multiply that answer by 2, you get 72. So you need to so you need to find what number x is standing for. Okay, well, right away there are two things that you can do. You need to do the inverse, use the inverse method. That means this number times 2, we will be the inverse of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. And the inverse of to the power of 2, powering by 2, is square root, second root. Okay, so we will be dividing by 2 and getting the square root. First of all, we need to figure out which one we should do first, because it's not the same. I'm going to follow the order of operations backwards. Bidmus, brackets, index, brackets, indices, divide, multiply, add, subtract. If you're not familiar with Bidmus, then don't worry too much about it. I think we would get a different answer if we divided first by 2 and then got the square root of that than if we got the square root of 72 and then divided by 2. Let's see. Okay, hopefully this works. Okay, 2x to the power of 2 equals 72. Well, let's first let's see now. I'm not sure which one it is, so I'm going to try both and see how it goes. Well, 72, I'm going to okay, so 2x to the power of 2, I'm going to do the inverse of times 2, which is divided by 2, and I'm going to do that to both sides to keep it balanced, to keep the equation balanced. So I'm dividing this expression by 2, and I'm also dividing this expression by 2. I need to get x by itself. I need something like over here in the answer. I just want a number that goes there for x. So I want my final answer to be something like x equals and then some number. Okay. And the way to do that is to get rid of this 2 and this to the power of 2. So the opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. That's why I've divided both sides by 2. Okay, well, 2x. No, I don't think that we need to divide by 2 first. I think we need to go along the order of operations. But let's see, what is half of 72? It's 36. Okay, hang on. That's a clue right there. That is a big clue. Okay, I will go along this line, and I'll tell you why. I was first going to find what the square root of 72 is, because the square root is the opposite, but actually there's no even number. So just bear with me for a second. Okay, so 2x to the power of 2 divided by 2. I've just realized that is probably the correct way to go about this. 2x to the power of 2 divided by 2. Well, 2x is 2 times x divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 gives us 1. So it will simply be 1x to the power of 2, except you don't need to write down 1x. You don't need to write down 1 times the number. The simpler way is to simply say x. So x to the power of 2 equals 72 divided by 2, which is 36, because 36 plus 36 equals 72. Half of 72 is 36. Okay, so now we don't know what number x is, but things have gotten a bit simpler. We do know that x to the power of 2, or x times x, equals 36. Well, the So we need to find out what we need to do the inverse of um, times x. So we divide by x. Um, uh, that wouldn't work on both sides, but we could do x to the power of 2. The inverse of to the power of is square root. At this level, that's all you need to know. So we do the square root of x to the power of 2 equals, and what we do to one side we do to the other in order to keep the equation balanced, so it stays equal to, equals the square root of 36. Okay, so the square root of x to the power of 2 is simply x, because x times x equals x squared, although I think it's plus and minus x. Plus and minus x. Oops. What on earth is going on? Sorry. Okay, plus and minus x. Plus x or minus x equals the square root of 36. Well, the square root of 36, we need to find two numbers that we need to find one number that times itself gives us 36. Well, 6 times 6 equals 36, so the answer is 6, or I'll get rid of this plus x, exact same thing, or minus 6, because minus 6 times minus 6 equals 36. Doesn't it? Negative times negative equals a positive. Negative 6 times negative 6 equals 36. So the square root of 36 is 6 or negative 6. And on this side, the square root of x. Yeah. Okay, so our final answer will be x equals 6 or negative 6. I'm guessing they're probably just going to have the answer as 6. Let's see. Yep, they do. Question 7. X squared equals 72 divided by 2. We did that here. Yep. Yeah, we did that up here. And the answer is 6. That's worth 2 marks. And 1 mark for 72 divided by 2, or 36 seen. So if you wrote down 72 divided by 2 somewhere, or 36 somewhere, you would have gotten 1 mark. You get full marks if you wrote down 6 or minus 6 or plus or minus 6. So maybe I made things too complicated. Technically I did give the correct answer. They would have simply accepted 6, so if you wrote down 6 you get full marks. Yeah, great. That is worth 2 marks. If you did get 6 or negative 6 or plus or minus 6, then you give yourself 2 marks. If you wrote down 72 divided by 2 or 36 somewhere, give yourself 1 mark. Thank you very much for watching this video, which is brought to you by videogcsc.com.